Hey grade 7, welcome to another edition of Mr. V Teaches Math. And today what we're going to be doing is talking about improper fractions and mixed numbers. Things that I'm pretty sure are repeats of stuff that you have talked about before. So hopefully we can get through this in good time so as not to overload you with stuff tonight. Now, our goals for today for improper fractions and mixed numbers are to be able to first of all, write an improper fraction as a mixed number, and then secondly, to write a mixed number as an improper fraction. So just being able to do the one way and then vice versa as well. First, what I thought I would do is show you some pictures that are representations of improper fractions and mixed numbers, I suppose, depending on how you want to look at it. So if you look at number 1, up in the corner here, we have two fraction strips. Each of them has 4 sections. Now I know that the temptation might be to say that, well, then the denominator is going to be 8, but really it's not. Because these are two individual fraction strips, we just look at the one and say, well, since it's divided into 4, then the denominator has to be 4. Okay. Then what I do is I just count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 sections that are shaded in, and so I say that there are 5 fourths. Okay, so resist the temptation to say that the denominator is 8. Okay, the other way to look at it is that I have one fraction strip that's all the way filled in, so I can say that that's 1 whole. And then in the second fraction strip, I have 1 out of 4 filled in, so I can say that that's 1/4. So that the mixed number is 1 1/4. So that's 2 ways to write out number 1. Okay, number 2, it's a little bit harder to see, but each of these is divided up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now again, I know that there are 24 little boxes here, but the denominator is not 24. It has to be 8 because one of these fraction strips has 8 sections. Now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 sections colored in. So that becomes my numerator. It's 21 out of 28. Okay. The other way to look at it, like we did over here, we have a whole number and a fraction together. There are 2 fraction strips that are totally colored in. So that's going to become my whole number. And then of these last 8, 5 of them are colored in. So I'm going to say that it's 2 5/8. That is the other way to write this diagram as a number. Okay. So this one is an improper fraction. And this one is a mixed number. Because they fit the definition, right? The definition of a mixed number is a whole number and a fraction put together. And then the definition for an improper fraction is where the numerator, which in this case is 21, is bigger than the denominator. Okay, we have one more problem down here. This is problem 3. I decided to use some circles. So I have circles that are divided up in 6 sections. So like the previous 2, 6 becomes our denominator. And then there are 18, 19 sections that are colored in. So my denominator becomes 19 over 6. The other way to look at it as a mixed number rather, is that there are 3 whole circles colored in. So I say that the whole number is 3, and then 1 out of the last 6. So it's 3 1/6. Okay, so using pictures, that's how I can determine what kind of number we're looking at rather. The next thing that I want to show you are a couple of examples on how to actually convert, how to change numbers from, in this case, changing an improper fraction into a mixed number. Okay, now what we do is we see that we have 7 over 3, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to do some division. So I'm going to take the denominator, which is 3, and I'm going to divide it into the numerator, which is 7. I know that 3 goes into 7 2 whole times because 3, right? And then 3 times 2 is 6, and then there's my remainder. Okay, now the way we use these numbers to generate or to create our mixed number is this number up here, that number up here becomes our whole number. Okay, so my first number that I write down is 2. This number right here, this remainder, okay, this becomes our numerator. So I write that down. And then lastly, this number, my original denominator, stays my denominator. Right? So I end up converting 7 over 3 using this method of division to 2 1/3. So I can say then that 7 over 3 is equal to 2 1/3. They are the same number, basically. Okay? Now, my next example is 10 over 7. So I'm going to follow the same process but explain it just a little bit less. I'm going to start with 7. I'm going to put it into 10. I know 7 goes into 10 once. 7 times 1 is 7. There are 3 left over. So using what I talked about up here, I know that my mixed number becomes 1 and then 3 over 7. Right? Bang, bang, bang. Same thing. Okay? And then lastly, 9 over 4. I'm going to put 4 into 9. 4 goes into 9 twice. 4 times 2 is 8. Remainder is 1. Okay? Becomes 2 1/4. Okay, so using the method, you put the numerator into the denominator using division. You can use your calculator if it can show you fractions that way. Otherwise, this is a really easy, quick way to do that. Okay, so this is an example of doing it from improper fractions to a mixed number. Now, conversely, changing a mixed number into an improper fraction has a slightly different process, where what happens is we take the whole number, which is 2, we multiply it by the numerator, and then we add that, multiply it by the denominator and then add that to the numerator. So 2 times 4 plus 3 equals 11. Now 11 becomes my new numerator, and my denominator, my original denominator 4, stays the same. Okay, so let's just highlight some things. So we start with the whole number, right, which is the 2, multiply it by the denominator, and then add that product to the numerator to get this number, which is the new numerator. And our original denominator will stay the same. Okay, so using that process, we can do the same thing with these other examples. We have 4 1/2. So what happens is we take 4, multiply it by 2, take the whole number, multiply it by the denominator, and then we're going to add that product, which is 8, to the numerator. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 equals 9, which means that my new numerator is 9. My denominator stays the same, so it's 9 over 2. Lastly, whole number times the original denominator, add that product to the numerator. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 2 is 29. And so that becomes my new numerator. Keep my denominator the same, which is 3. So there I've changed 3 mixed numbers into improper fractions. And I'm pretty sure that that's all you need to know for this lesson. So have a great day.